Hey guys, before the video starts, I just wanted to say I tried to make this video like a lot cooler than it currently is, and no, I can't do it. Some group or some company in Germany and other countries keeps trying to shoot my video in the head every time I have moving images, just any video at all of the Hulk moving. So if you want to see a cooler edit of this, go over to the second channel. I'm gonna be uploading like some stuff over there because I don't care if that channel eventually makes money. Because YouTube does like this stupid thing where it's like if you have a copyright video and if I start earning money one day, that it can impact my earnings. And look, I don't know if I'm gonna start making money on here, but I really don't want to chance it. I work very hard on these videos. I know it's just like watching a movie and then editing down the movie and all that and voicing it over, but it's like it actually does take multiple hours, like several hours for me to do. So if you could give it a like, that would be very nice. Thank you. Goodbye.
I forgot this movie released the same year as Iron Man. It's kind of funny how little this movie matters to Marvel. They clearly don't care about it too much. They started bringing some characters back from it and making more references to it, but kind of in the worst ways possible. I feel like they should have treated it with more care, but they don't seem to. However, we're not talking about that stuff yet. Maybe in the future. Today, I'll be helping you guys doomsday prep. Anyway, let's start the movie. Please excuse me, y'all, if my voice sounds a little strange. I've been sick for the past couple days and still not quite right. Anyway, it's the early 2000s, so of course we have a long montage of what happened to the main character while the credits play on screen. Seems as if Bruce was in some sort of experiment with gamma rays that caused him to go full Hulk. He injures and maybe even kills some people in a fit of unbridled rage, hurting a woman who he seems to have a romantic history with, some sort of man with white hair and a mustache who tried to protect her and got injured as well. Cut to him back in human form, and he's watching the woman recover in the hospital, but the mustached man pushes him out, and Banner goes on the run. Newspaper clippings of destruction caused by the Hulk, collections of video, and the military tracking the Hulk, the mustached man leading the charge. Then the montage ends, and we see Bruce sitting alone, meditating on those memories that bring him stress. He's been 158 days without incident. He's hiding out in Brazil, learning ways to control his anger and body. He wears a heart rate monitor on his watch to better understand when he might be getting too upset. This guy slaps him hard enough to make Dana White proud. Cut to this factory that bottles soft drinks where Bruce works at. He also seems to be the guy they go to when something needs to be fixed. While fixing something, Bruce gets cut, and a drop of his blood falls into the bottles. Turn it off! Bruce freaks out and yells for the assembly to be shut off to go clean the blood. He wipes it off, but he misses a drop that landed directly in a bottle and gets shipped out to the USA. Later, Bruce sees some guys harassing a female coworker and decides not to step in. Then he decides to step in to help, despite knowing he might go green. The boss yells at them to break it up, and Bruce goes on break. He meets a dealer who gives him something, and then he runs back home, sets up a small dish and receiver to talk to someone codenamed Mr. Blue. Bruce is codenamed Mr. Green. He tells Blue that he found it and that it seems to be a flower. Blue advises him to try a large dose. This scene basically tells us that Bruce is trying to, and probably has been trying for a long time, to cure himself. He makes his serum, dog, and tests it. Seems to work, then reverse instantly, ruining any hope he had. He tells Blue, and Blue tells him it's time to meet. Bruce doesn't want to, but Blue insists he sends him a blood sample. He can't help him if he won't let him. Cut to the Pentagon where we see the mustachioed man. His name is General T. Ross. He receives a report about possible gamma sickness. Then we cut to Stan Lee, opening a fridge and pulling out one of those sodas for Brazil. Presumably, the one that Bruce missed. Ross investigates and sends men to the bottling factory, ordering them to use the utmost discretion and make sure they aren't seen, or Bruce will know, and he will run. They bring in this guy. I don't care about him. I don't like him, so I won't remember his name. He's an expert in something, and they put a team together to go capture Bruce. Ross explains on the helicopter ride that Bruce has killed several people and injured others, so don't wait to see if he's a fighter. Trank him, grab him, bring him back. Y'all know this ain't gonna work out for him, right? I mean, like, remember the title of this movie? The Incredible Hulk? Ain't nobody winning against this guy, especially not some little special forces team. Are we joking? Blue contacts Bruce to tell him the preliminary tests show reduced gamma signs, and it may just cure Bruce, but Blue needs a lot more data. But Bruce tells him it's back home, he doesn't have it. Later at night, the Special Forces team moves in on his location. They breach his home, and then they immediately tranquilize him in his sleep. Psych, it's just pillows. That's hilarious that this worked on a special ops team. The jerk tranks his dog, and then they investigate the area. Bruce slips out and makes his escape, but they end up seeing him and they chase him through the city. Here it is really fast. Coke ad. Bruce's heart rate monitor spikes, but he's able to get it under control. He narrowly avoids getting captured several more times. Then he bumps into his jerk coworkers from earlier, who chase him better than, than the special ops team does. Bruce tries to control his emotions and heart rate, but his coworkers and the special ops are all closing in. His coworkers catch him, they shove him up against a bunch of bottles, I think, and he gets more and more stressed. His heart rate hits 200 and something incredible happens. The Hulk is kind of terrifying, and this feels like a horror movie. Special Ops tries to trank the Hulk, idiots, and the Hulk rips through the team like tissue paper. Yeah, they're called Special Forces because they're going to need special medical attention after this. All they do is get him more and more angry. Mr. Jerk thinks he's him or something and shoots the Hulk, and Hulk puts the fear of God into him. Hulk escapes into the wilderness of Brazil. They investigate his home, and Mr. Jerk is also mad that something threw a forklift at him like a softball. He's all like, he had something in there with him, and it was scary and green, and Ross is like, that was him, idiot. And Mr. Jerk is all like, what the frick, what? We fade into the wilderness where Bruce lays half naked on a rock. He finds a road and stops a truck for help. He learns he's in Guatemala and hitches a ride with the Banana Man. Mr. Banana asks where he's going, and he says home. And we cut back to Mr. Jerk, who wants in next time Ross goes at Bruce or whatever. Moron. Bruce ends up in a town where he gets some new clothes. Stretchier ones. Then he begins his journey home. I think he literally walks all the way to the USA. Ross tells Mr. Jerk about secret programs, about the Super Soldier Enhancement Program, explaining how Banner tested his theories on himself and something went very wrong or very right, as he puts it. He believes Banner's body belongs to the US government, and he wants that data from his body so that he can make more super soldiers. Ross arranges a way for him to become something different. Hint, hint. Probably a super soldier. Bruce makes it back to America. He did that fast. He didn't even have a freaking car. He's at some sort of university looking for someone when we see the name Elizabeth Ross. Oh, wow, it's General Ross's daughter. I couldn't have seen that coming. Oh, no, she's got a boyfriend or something. They're holding hands. Bruce goes to a restaurant called Stanley's. Must be a Stan Lee reference, even though they already got the guy in the movie. The store owner recognizes him and lets him in. They talk a little bit about Betty and her new man. Bruce asks for a bed, and the old man lends him his spare room. And then Bruce asks for another favor. He pretends to be a pizza delivery guy for Stan Lee, and he fakes having a delivery for someone at the university and bribes a guard so he can get inside the labs.
Pizza time.
Bruce has flashbacks to the experiment, and he sits in a computer lab and logs in as Betty. He searches for any info on him or the experiment within the database, but he comes up empty. He tells Mr. Blue it's all gone, and he asks what he's going to do next. Bruce says he's got to keep moving forward. At the restaurant, Betty enters with her man, and Bruce doesn't know. Her man looks familiar. Eerily familiar. Bruce almost steps out into the restaurant, and Betty sees him for just a second, and then she's hypnotized by it. She tries to follow him outside, following what she thinks might be a hallucination, but he hides behind a dumpster so she doesn't see him. She begs Stan to tell her if he was really there or not. It seems he told her since she finds Bruce out in the rain not too long after. She hugs him and begs him to go with her, and he does. She brings him to her place and gives him the data he's looking for. Betty talks about the general as if he's not her dad, and she hasn't spoken to him in a couple years. Bruce says they have to make sure he doesn't know about the data, since Ross wants to make what he is into a weapon he could control. Cut to Ross in a lab with some sort of serum. Looks like he's trying to resurrect that old program. Liz sets up a room for Bruce, and there's a lot of obvious tension between them. Bruce plans to leave in the morning, and she seems upset by this. They both lay in bed in separate rooms, probably wishing they were in the same bed together. Cut to Mr. Jerk getting ready for an experiment with Ross. He's about to use the infusions that Ross grabbed. Looks painful and sounds like it too. In the morning, Bruce and Betty are in front of the university, and then they are very suddenly surrounded by agents everywhere. The military chases them around, putting innocent people in harm's way, and all around doing a terrible job at capturing Bruce. Bruce runs into the university library and swallows the USB with the data. I do not think I could do that. Betty stands in front of an armored vehicle to stop it, somehow guessing her dad is in there. A lot of stupid decisions are made, and they try to trap and gas Bruce. Betty knocks out a guy, and then another one grabs her, and that's when his eyes go green.
Okay, so you guys now know, like, I couldn't put this full cool edit in. It'll be on the second channel, like I said, but Hulk jumps out, breaks everything. He looks really cool, like, look at that guy, and he is mad. He sees Betty being grabbed by more guards, gets even more mad, screams out at them. Everybody is just completely shocked. And the jerk really badly still wants a second shot at them.
I don't even know why they brought guns to this fight. Like, they shoot him and it only annoys him like a little bit. Not that much, but they keep annoying him, which is bad because the Hulk, the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets. Ross is all like, "Where are the 50 cal? Move your ass!" He's asking questions all the time. There's the 50 cal, and guess what? The the bullets bounce off him like nothing. It just annoys him more. The difference between a mosquito bite and a horsefly bite, I guess. Yeah, so he turns that vehicle into a play toy, basically makes this unit look like tissue paper, just ripping through it like it's nothing. It's the Jerk's turn, and Hulk makes a couple cool shields out of this metal thing and becomes a Beyblade, and it's horrifying. I can't imagine being in that situation. Ross is all like,
God, he's doing.
and it's like, what are you talking about? What is he doing? He's not beating the Hulk. They get him in position in front of these like big sound wave cannons that like must have been developed just to fight him. They high-key work. Until like they don't, which is kind of everything that's ever developed to fight the Hulk. It works until it doesn't because it's the Hulk. Hulk is like Maharaga. He just adapts to everything. Every time Betty screams, he gets way more upset and locks in.
Where's the gunship?
Ross is constantly, again, asking where his stuff is. Like, he doesn't know where anything is. He doesn't know what's going on. I don't think he knows where he is. The Jerk walks up and gets kicked like a bug, smacks into a tree, and it looks like he dies. Phil is here for some reason. Hulk only just starts to calm down when he sees that Betty is okay. And then they shoot him again, but with her in the way. Like, Hulk ends up saving her. You're welcome, Ross, idiot. Phil is scared. This is a cool shot. You really feel the anger from this Hulk. Turns out Phil is the one who apparently called them, and he gets mad that Ross put Betty in danger, which, you know, that's completely reasonable. And is all like, man, the Hulk saved her. Like, she was gonna die. Ross is all like, I don't like you. And Phil kind of low-key roasts him a little bit here.
I used to wonder why she never talked about you. Now I know.
Hulk ends up bringing Betty to a cave for them both to hide in, and she gets scared by him, which is fair, honestly. Imagine waking up and you see that giant green face. The Hulk gets mad at the thunder, and we get this cool scene here, actually.
Check out the second channel for the edit. Yeah, he roars, and it's really cool, so go check it out.
It seems all he wants to do is protect Betty. They sit together, and she helps keep him calm. It's kind of cute. Turns out the Jerk is somehow still alive. He's just been turned into a bag of bones. Ah, he moves! Ah! The next morning, Betty wakes up and notices Bruce has turned back. They find a motel and they lay low there so Bruce can recover. Might take a while. The only thing that takes me out of this film is Edward Norton. He just doesn't fit the role of Bruce that well, but he still acts really good in this. I just liked him more in Fight Club. He fit better there. Purple shorts mentioned! This is when they still hated putting the character in, like, an actual comic book accurate suit of any kind. Like, all the Hulk wears is purple shorts in the comics. It's like they couldn't even do that.
The news caught wind of this, and somehow no one got any clear footage of what happened, even though they're at a university, and someone definitely has a camera. They have, like, this one perspective here, and it's not very clear what happens. Betty cleans up Bruce, giving him a haircut, all that jazz, and you could cut the tension between them with a butter knife. No, not even a butter knife, a plastic knife. They start making out, and hey, at least they got a room. His heart rate monitor goes crazy, and he has to stop. She's very disappointed, and so is he. Oh, look at that. The Jerk is all better. It seems like whatever serum he took, like, really works well. And of course, the military would want to use this for, like, super soldiers instead of, you know, like, helping people. This is a strange dynamic. I don't like how they gaze into each other's eyes a lot. Bruce and Betty are getting ready to go on the run without being tracked, and Ross is doing his absolute best to track them. Turns out they got help from S.H.I.E.L.D., and they now know about Mr. Blue. They find out who Mr. Blue is. Dr. Samuel Stearns. Betty and Bruce either bought or stole this truck, I'm not sure which. They discuss what Bruce feels when he transforms. He says he barely remembers what happens when he does, and just bits and fragments. Jerk prepares for more experimenting while Betty and Bruce end up in a traffic stop. They leave and make a deal with someone to charter a boat to
New York City!
They take a cab instead of the subway train, which seems like a good idea until it isn't. Betty gets mad, they decide to walk. They find Stearns and make formal introductions. Stearns comes back into Marvel a lot later, and they fumble him like crazy. Anyway, they talk about plans to get him cured. Ross prepares what looks like the whole freaking military, and Jerk seems like he's not doing so well mentally or physically. Ew. Yeah, sure, put that guy in a plane. I'm sure that's fine. In Stearns' lab, they prepare Bruce, and it seems like a iffy operation, to say the least. The antidote is supposed to mix with his blood and basically flush out the Hulk. This is freaky. I don't think he liked that. Ew. I can't even tell if it's working. It just looks like torture. They let him transform and Betty attempts to keep him calm as they inject the antidote. I can't believe it, but it seems to work and he shrinks back into man size. Stearns enjoys this a little too much, and he explains how everything works, but I don't really understand a lick of it. Then Stearns says, "Our test subjects," and Bruce is like, "Test subject?" The military closes in while Stearns explains the potential of the science in his blood, making cures,
people impervious to disease, but Bruce wants to destroy it. Stearns doesn't like that idea at all. Jerk runs in even when he's told to stand down. Something very bad is about to happen here. They hit Bruce with a trank and he goes down. Jerk finds him and tries to get him to turn green. This guy ain't right in the head, and it seems he doesn't want Bruce to be either, so he bonks him. Betty is mad at Ross and tells him off and says he ain't her dad anymore. They take Stearns and they basically want him to make more super soldiers. Jerk is always hitting people. He makes Stearns turn him into the Hulk. Stearns is all too eager to do this, and so is Jerk. This line...
You've seen what he becomes, right?
I have. And it's beautiful.
These guys are both crazy. The military takes Bruce and Betty away while Stearns gets the lab ready. They inject him, and stuff is going very wrong. Bruce's blood ends up mixing in with Stearns' blood, and this creepy thing happens here with his head. Jerk goes on a rampage, and these guys are screwed. I would not be chasing, like, this thing. Very bad idea, but a cool way to tease the character on screen. Ross's men call him, saying the Hulk is on the street, but that's impossible.
I think the Hulk is in the streets!
That's impossible. You get a hold of yourself, young man. You get it together.
They turn the helicopter around. Ross is so out of the know for everything. It's kind of hilarious. Then they see him on screen. The Abomination. These police officers are either very brave or very stupid. Only this guy has any sense to try a much bigger gun. That still doesn't work. Could have told you that. I wonder how many people died during this. It seems Abomination wants a real fight. Bruce realizes what needs to be done. He hopes to aim the Hulk at Abomination, and Ross seems to agree. They open the back door for this awesome superhero landing. Betty begs him not to, but he does. He falls out of the sky, and his eyes don't change at all. He plummets into the ground, and nothing. Bruce is dead. No, he's not. Hulk climbs out of the crater he just made, and Abomination is very excited by his appearance, and we get this. Two best friends about to hug one another.
3, 2, 1, smash!
Hulk makes boxing gloves out of a car, which is sick, and starts beating up Abomination, but it ain't enough. He kicks him into a building and chases him. Why'd they shoot him? They know what he's capable of, right? Hulk barely saves them. Like, I swear, Ross just loves putting his daughter in danger. They play monkeys in a barrel and swing around until the chopper crashes. Well, that was really close. Another happy landing. Abomination and Hulk fight again while the chopper is very close to falling off the roof. Abomination pins him and tries to stab him to death, but Hulk always locks in when Betty is in danger. Clap puts out the flames like a breath onto a candle. Yeesh, that has to be painful even for Hulk. Jack the Whipper, take notes, dude.
Last words. Hulk! Smash!
I love that. The chains fall onto Abomination, Hulk strangles him with them, then stabs him. He goes to choke him out, and Betty yells for him to stop. He calms down, puts his foot down on Abomination, and... Hulk kicks Abomination to Ross, and Betty walks up to Hulk, and they have a moment before a chopper chases the Hulk away. He's not so much angry as he is sad here. Cut to Betty in New York looking at a photo of Bruce, and then we fade away into Bella Coola, British Columbia, where Bruce is jogging. Then we see him hiding away in this cabin in the woods where he meditates. 31 days without incident, and this is kind of a weird scene. It implies that for some reason he transforms again, but I don't get why. What made him angry? Anyway, in what would normally be an end credit type of scene, Ross is getting wasted at some bar when Tony freaking Stark walks in. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
No stale beer and defeat. You know, I hate to say I told you so, General, but that super soldier program was put on ice for a reason. I've always felt that hardware was much more reliable.
Stark,
General,
you always wear such nice suits.
touche. I hear you have an unusual problem.
You should talk.
You should listen. What if I told you we were putting a team together? Who's we?
Sure
sure that this scene is not canon anymore, because it doesn't really make sense, since in Avengers, Tony ends up being like, I don't want to join the Avengers Initiative. That's stupid. That's I don't want to do that. It's dumb. Didn't they scrap that whole program anyway? But maybe he was a lot more into the idea at first, and eventually when they scrapped the program, he just like didn't care anymore and was like, no, I didn't actually want to be on a team. I work alone. I'm the lone wolf type. Shocker to everyone though, this movie has no end credit scene. Seems like that type of thing wasn't really established until the next film, and I'll see you guys over there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that this was a pretty cohesive recap. I had to watch this movie like 3 times, and it's not that I don't like it. I actually did find myself enjoying it a lot. It's just, it's not Iron Man. It's not the first Iron Man movie. I mean, it was so good. I adored that movie. This movie, not nearly as much, which is probably why this video won't be as long as the previous recap. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Please comment, please like, please subscribe, and I hope you have a beautiful day. God bless, and goodbye.